Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I'm Barbara. Today I'm in the tunnel trying to get all the things done. So one of the first things that I did before I turned the camera on was I finished fertilizing. My hubby had started it yesterday, but the battery died. So I finished fertilizing for this week with the backpack sprayer fogger that we got. I have a video on that if you want to check it out. And then what I'm doing now is looking at my seedlings that are ready to be transplanted, the ones that have been, going the longest, and I'm actually putting them in the ground. So I've already done some lettuce and put that in the ground. I've done some bok choy. I have some more bok choy. So I'm kind of filling in the open spaces in some of the raised beds and some of the in-ground stuff in the tunnel. And then we're going to also plant seeds today. So I thought I'd take you along with me as we're doing kind of all the things. And so again, I've been talking a lot about, just kind of conserving space. And so as things are getting ready, and these are all cool weather things, like I said, the lettuce, the bok choy, all of that is cool weather stuff. And it's at a decent height to go ahead and get in the ground. So I'm doing that to save on space in terms of seedlings on the the table, so I can make room for new seedlings that are coming in. And I'm just trying to keep a constant rotation as I can of stuff, especially stuff that's like spring and fall/spring, meaning like the cool weather stuff, the things that I started. And I kind of decided this morning I'm not going to do any more cool weather things in terms of starting seeds. I'm really turning my focus on starting seeds for the summer season. So when I say cool weather, I'm in Tennessee. I'm in zone 7A. And so things like I've done cabbage, I've done cauliflower, broccoli, bok choy, lettuces, kale, collards. So I've already started those seeds in the last 1 to 2 weeks, and I'm not going to start any more of those kind of seeds, because as I was doing my crop plan, I need things now that are going to be ready to harvest in the next 60 days, especially in the tunnel, because that way in 60 days, so we're right now in the mid of February, that'll be mid-April, and that'll be about the time that I'm going to be starting to transplant some of the summer stuff. My estimated last frost date here in this zone is April the 20th. For the greenhouse, I will probably feel comfortable planting around that date. For the outside garden, I'm going to wait usually one or 2 weeks. So I'm targeting like May the 7th as the big planting day for the outside tunnel. That'll get me a couple of weeks past the last frost date. And again, all of that is just kind of tentative, up in the air, what I'm thinking. But for the tunnel purposes, I should be pretty okay, we think, to put stuff in the ground if it's summer, like tomatoes and peppers, around that April 20th date, unless when I look at the 10-day forecast, it's looking bad. But anyway, we'll get to that part when we get to it. But my point is that it really doesn't make sense for me to start any more cool weather type things, because I'm really focusing on the summer. So whatever I've already started, we're going to try to go ahead and get that in the ground as they mature, and we'll hope for the best. Because one of the worst things is to take a plant out that's doing well to make room for a new plant. Like, it breaks my heart. Like, I don't want to do that. I would rather like harvest it. It's done at its, it's at the end of its season, and then put something new in. It doesn't always work that way, but ideally that's what I would like to do. So I thought I'd take you along with me. I've already done some lettuce and bok choy. I have some more bok choy to put out and some cauliflower. So I'm going to find a space for those, and then we'll get going on the seeds. Okay, guys, we're going to transition and start some seeds. This is actually a couple of days later from when I originally started this video, just because life. Okay. So we're going to start some seeds because I'm running short on time. I only really have a few minutes. And then I have a surprise for you at the end. I'm going to give you an update on, I shot some video from the seedlings in the house. So I wanted you to see, it's the plants that we started together probably 4 or 5 days ago by the time you see this video. And so you'll be able to see the progress and actually see them in their element under the grow lights and see how the germination happened. So I'm going to show you that and pop that in at the end. But let's go ahead and start some more pepper seeds. So the last time we were together, we did almost a whole flat using the Epic Gardening 6 cell block seed trays, we did a lot of peppers. We're gonna do, and though we did we did bell peppers from seeds that I saved, and we did jalapenos. So now we're gonna do the rest of our peppers. So I have the soil. Remember, we had did this together on that video. We had already put our soil in when we were doing the last video on the organizing of the tunnel. We had done our soil. I've pre-moistened it, so it's ready to go. So now all I gotta do is make my labels and get to planting, and I'll tell you what we're planting and how many. Okay, the first thing we're going to plant are our hybrid bell pepper seeds. For those that are brand new, I did a video talking about the seeds I was growing and kind of what our garden goals were for this gardening season. And so there's a video, I think it's titled Garden Goals. But in that video, I talked about how one of the things that we're really focused on this year is high yield, high production. One, just to have more for our family to preserve, but also we're going to sell the excess, right? So we're going to dabble into selling some produce from our farm this year. Just going to see how it goes, right? But the majority, I shouldn't say the majority. So that's the reason why we're doing some hybrids. So I got some specific varieties specifically designated for the tunnel. And so I bought these from Johnny Seeds. They're a 4 greenhouse, so they're able to withstand the high heat, high humidity, and to do really, really well in a greenhouse, high tunnel production environment. So there's 3 different peppers, and these are all bell peppers. One is red, one is yellow, one is orange. It's the Bracanto, the Sprinter, and the Melina. So we're gonna do those first because with those, I can put those in the tunnel before I can plant outside, and they'll be just fine. I'm right at the window. I'm about 8.5 weeks away from my last frost date. My last frost date in my zone is April the 20th. So I'm right at the 8.5 week mark, which is generally when they tell you to start your peppers 6 to 8 weeks ahead of time. So I'm right within that time frame. If something were to go awry, we still got time. So let's go ahead and get started planting these peppers. I have my labels done, so let me grab the seeds and we will get to planting. So I'm actually going to do 12 of each one. And so I'm using the purple air pruning tray from Bootstrap Farmer. It goes 6 across and 12 down. So I'm just going to do 1 row down of each one. And so we're going to start with the Bracanto. And so that'll give me 36 plants total. The packet is like, and the germination rate on this particular one is 84%. So I may just do 2 seeds and see what happens. So the one thing I like about Johnny's is that they give you the germination rate on their seed packet that's been tested or whatever, and so it kind of gives you an idea of how many to plant. Like a lot of times their germination is 95 to 99%, and when that happens, I usually only just like plant 1 seed. But since it's 84, I'm putting 1 seed now just to see how many. And then I think I'm gonna actually put 2 and go from there, is what I think. There's 25 seeds in this packet, so I could put 2. And again, hybrid seeds are not cheap by no stretch of the imagination. Well, let me take that back. Not that hybrid seeds are not cheap. These production, like greenhouse seeds, specifically designed for a greenhouse or a high tunnel. If you have one of those and you're looking to kind of max out your yield and your production, then they're going to be more expensive, definitely, for sure. But if they produce like I think they will, then what I pay for them is going to be literally minimal. Okay, minimal. So let's see. So in some I have 2 and in some I have 1. I think I'm just gonna leave it as such, and then I'll save a few more of these. So that was the Bracanto. Let me put my little label for that right. No, wrong one. And I'm just gonna keep going on the rest of these, and I'll just time lapse the rest. So we got that one tray done. So what I did was I have a row of the Bracanta, which is, I think that's yellow. Let me just take a look real quick, because I wrote it on the packet so I wouldn't forget. Wrong packet. The Bracanta is the yellow. The Sprinter is the next row, which is the red. And then the next row after that is the Milena, which is orange. And then I did a row of Carmen pepper seeds. These again are another one of those hybrid for the greenhouse production. And it's like a red, like a sweet Italian pepper. So it's called the Carmen. I have a row of that. And then I have a row of Cayenne and then a row of Habanera. So we got 6 rows, 12 each of peppers. That's done. I've already covered it with soil. I've already misted it, so it is ready to go. So I am going to take this in the house and put it on the heat mat. The weather is really, really nice. It's like 75 degrees here, which is unheard of in February in Tennessee. 75 degrees, and then tomorrow is going to be 79. So it's outrageously warm. I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining. Love it. And I actually could probably leave it out here. The temperature I think tonight is gonna get to like 60 something, but I'm just gonna go ahead and take it in the house, let them germinate really well, and that'll be it. So I'm gonna pop in this video and give you an update on the seedlings in the house that we planted together just 5 days ago, and let you see how those are doing. Okay guys, since I'm never in the house a lot recording when I'm doing this type of content, I wanted to show you how my seedlings are doing that we did together just Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, 5 days ago. And so remember we were using these new trays, the Epic Gardening 6-block trays. You can see that here. Y'all, look at my germination. There's my mint. This is my first time ever growing mint. We have good germination on that. Here is our eggplant. Here is our Dusty Miller. Here, we got a little bit of eucalyptus growing there. Here is our lavender. So let me back up a little bit. So this lavender here is the one that we cold stratified. We had it in the refrigerator for 2 weeks before we planted it. And you can see I have let me back up. 3 that have germinated. 1, 2, 3. Here's the one that this block right here was not cold stratified. So you can see it has not germinated yet. So to me, that is proof that the cold stratification worked, because nothing here, but I have 3 out of the 6 going there. 1, 2, 3. And all of my mint germinated, which is fantastic. I've never ever grown mint from seed. I thought it was pretty difficult, but I had good germination. So that is good. That's all my eggplant. So that's one tray. They're under the grow lights. And you can just see my setup. It's just one of those. So my setup is just a basic, one of those 5-tier shelves, and I have grow lights set up. You can see here, these, y'all, are actually peppers. I wanted to show you this because peppers usually take 10 to 14 days to germinate, but look at all of my good germination. This is literally day 5. I had stuff popping up that I could see on day 2, which is wild. I've never, ever, ever had my peppers germinate this fast. So these are bell peppers. And then this one here is a jalapeno pepper. You can see I have some germination there. These are the bell peppers. And remember, all of these bell peppers are seeds that I saved. So I wonder if that makes a difference. These are seeds that I saved, and the germination is like literally fantastic. Okay, there's our microgreens that I told you I was gonna start. So this is yeah, day 5 for them. Looking better than the last time. Have some sparseness right there, but overall they are taller than they were before. You can see that there. So they're still cooking and baking. And then this down here are seeds, jalapeno seeds that have not germinated. It's the rest of what goes in this tray right here. Those have not germinated yet, so I have them on a heat mat and I have the humidity dome over them. But y'all, that is the setup. So far, so good. But I wanted to at least just show you this because we did this together just 5 days ago and things are looking good. And my update on these, I like these little 6-pack trays. They're very sturdy too. So there you have it. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. We got a few things accomplished. It's split up over a couple of videos, a couple of days, just because life happened and I wasn't able to finish what I started that day. But we were able to plant out some of the transplants. We were able to start a whole new tray of peppers. I gave you an update on the peppers that we already did. And so I'm in this season right now. It's really busy personally and professionally. And so I'm doing what I can when I can with what I have. And like today, I only had like 45 minutes and I got to run back in the house, change clothes for a meeting on Zoom and all that jazz. But that's the name of the game. It is a journey. Do what you can do when you can do it. There's some days, as I've said before, you have more time than others. Some days you only have 20 minutes and you can only seed maybe a 6-cell tray. Do that, right? It's all a journey. Whatever you do, don't give up. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.